You don't really need a bunch of fancy analytics, a bunch of tools. Just pull the reports that you have, look for the patterns, and then try to base your next decision off of that data. Don't guess. Test it. You know what I mean? Like, test small batches, measure the results quickly, and then make adjustments. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Welcome back to another episode of Pizza King Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tyrell Reed. And today is Friday, so you know what it is. We are doing takeout tips. And today I want to talk about trusting your gut versus using data. Today I want to talk about how we can stop guessing and we can start tracking. Because at the end of the day, you can't run your shop on gut feelings alone. I see it every single week. An operator will say, I just know what my customers want. Then they'll send out a promotion or they'll make a menu change and then it'll fall flat. Look, your gut is valuable, very valuable. But let's be honest, it's biased. It remembers emotion. It doesn't really remember evidence. The smartest operators use both gut and data. They listen to their instincts, but they let the numbers make the final call. Yesterday, I was working with an operator trying to help him set up his first, or not trying to help him. We worked through setting up his first text and email campaign, right? He wanted to run a delivery promotion to his entire list. So I asked him, how much of your business is delivery? He said, about 25%. So I immediately said, so that means 75% of your customers are going to get ignored through this promotion, right? That was a quick way to waste money and lose engagement, right, on your list. Instead, we pulled his POS data, turned out his carryout customers ordered twice as often and had higher ticket averages. So we flipped the plan. We targeted just carryout first and then segmented a delivery-only test, built a smaller delivery-only test list to see what happens. And we'll see what the data says after we test that out. But that was the whole point. Like, we can't make decisions based on our gut. We got to see what the data is telling us because the data tells a story. Look, your POS, your online ordering, your loyalty tools, they all track so much data, right? But most customers don't read the story behind the numbers. Here's a couple of things for you to look for every single week. What are my top 5 menu items sold? This is going to tell you what the customers are actually craving. What's my average ticket by order type? Meaning, is it dine-in? Is it carry-out? Is it delivery? What are my average tickets there? So that's going to show you where the big spenders are. Then you can look at order frequency per customer. This helps you build out your loyalty campaigns. Look at your day part and hourly sales. This is going to tell you where your opportunities are with promotions and with scheduling. Big one for scheduling, right? Then you start looking at your sales mix by category. Is it dine-in? Is it carry-out? Is it delivery? This is going to help you understand where you should be marketing. You don't really need a bunch of fancy analytics, a bunch of tools. Just pull the reports that you have, look for the patterns, and then try to base your next decision off of that data. Don't guess. Test it. You know what I mean? Like, test small batches, measure the results quickly, and then make adjustments. If you think a delivery offer might work, you looking at it like, oh, a delivery would work. Listen, maybe it does. If you think a delivery offer might work, send it to a small group. And that's what we did. Like, let's send it to a small segment first. We'll measure the redemptions. We'll look at the average check. We'll look at frequency, patterns after that. And if it performs, then we'll expand it. And if it doesn't, we'll just pivot. That's how you test. That's how you test small and make smart decisions. Here's a couple rules that I follow when making decisions. Never discount without data. Never change prices without data. And never create new marketing based on what it feels right, based on what feels good. Those are the rules. You'll save thousands of dollars by testing before you blast shit out. Save your money let the data tell you. And if you don't have enough data yet, then you should really be careful. I mean, you got to start testing so that you can start to build some data, but you can also look at industry averages. There's a lot of tools out there. You can look at industry averages. You can look at local averages. Then you can start to ask questions and reaching out to people. Reach out to me. I got a lot of data. I can help you at least make a decision make a more informed decision if you're having issues trying to figure that out. But at the end of the day, your gut still matters too. That was the other point I want to make. Like, you can't just ignore your gut. Your gut has experience, years of experience. Your gut has had customer conversations. It knows what you see every single shift. That's your intuition, and it's valuable, but only when you back it up with the data. If your gut says people love our wings, check the numbers. Do they order them? How often are they ordering? Are wing sales growing? What's the food cost on it? You know what I mean? Ask yourself those questions. If your gut says we need to extend our hours, what's the late night data telling us? Is there enough orders to actually justify the labor and the utilities? If not, maybe your gut's off. But your gut will ultimately give you direction. But your data has to confirm the direction that you want to go in. You got to use them together. Use them together, and that'll make your business unstoppable. Couple of tips before we go, and I'll let you get to your weekend. All right, here we go. Couple tips before we go to help you just make data part of your daily routine, your daily rhythm, especially if you're having conversations, you're following up with managers. Let's have data forward conversations. Number one, run a weekly dashboard. Run a weekly dashboard and review it. 30 minutes every Monday, 60 minutes every Monday to pull sales, labor reports, and have a quick review. Number two, if you're managing a team and you got managers, if you're leading a team and you got managers underneath you and you got managers that need accountability, assign one metric per manager. That's an easy one. Somebody's tracking sales per hour. Somebody's tracking average ticket. Somebody's tracking labor percentage. Somebody's taking care of our food spend or our waste, tracking our waste. Make them simple, but make them clear and get assigned it to one person and make them responsible for it. And that drives your conversation with that person. Ask better questions. That's number 3. Ask better questions. Instead of how was business this week, ask them, what did the data say? You know what I mean? What did the report say? Train your team to spot patterns. That's a big one. Train them to spot patterns. Shift leaders should know which items are selling and which ones aren't. Shift leaders should know, what are we expecting for lunch and for dinner rush? It's their job. They should know. And then the last tip is to act fast. Data loses value when you sit on it. Make small adjustments every single week and you'll be getting the most out of it. The best operators don't find out what works. They track, they test, and they adjust. Let the data be your mirror. Look into it and tell yourself the truth. It'll show you what's real and not what you hope is true. But that's all we got this week. It's been a great one. We're still finishing up National Pizza Month. We got a few more days to go. We did have some hiccups this week. Missed a couple of days. I did record. It just didn't make sense to put it out because of what I said on Monday. It was no longer relevant on Wednesday because I was talking about the guest that we were having on Tuesday. So we missed a couple of those, but we still got out. We got the Billy Briggs episode out this week. We got Takeout tips out. We're going to finish off strong for the rest of the week. I am enjoying podcasting every day. So a little bit more to come on that. We'll find a way to continue with that. Yeah, y'all just stay tuned. Appreciate you all. Have a good weekend. Pizza King Podcast. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.